Hey everybody, it's the Review Revolution, back at you again. And Marvel fans, true believers, we're here. Today we're going to start our look at the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Modok series. So we're going to have some fun with Modok. Right there. And I am happy to say that that the first piece that we're starting with actually comes with a favorite character of mine, Beta Ray Bill. I have been a Thor fan. I like Thor. I like the stories that are told of kind of the old gods, the old mythologies that have been brought into the modern age and their tales still being told. I really would have to believe that the comic incarnations of Thor and Odin and Hercules, these are all the modern day stories or the modern day versions of the stories that were being told back when they were, kind of the thing, when they were the gods that were being worshipped, the tales that were being told. We keep telling them, and now we tell them in comic books to children. But I like it. I always like that. I like the idea that those characters are still alive. Those mythologies are still alive, just as comic book characters. And Beta Ray Bill is a great addition to it. I like him because he's the space Thor. When I think in the late '80s, when I really kind of started following Thor, I always liked Beta Ray Bill because he was the space Thor, and I thought he was pretty cool. Wasn't until later on that I realized exactly what his history was, but yeah, that's enough of me going on about it. Taking a look at the pack, again, same kind of packaging we've seen in the previous Toy Biz series. It's just the bubble clamshell. Got the name of the character, got the Marvel Legends, got the highlighted piece to the Build-A-Figure. The packaging includes the hover base of Modok. From the way it looks, we'll be referring to that as something else. But on the back, just a quick look at some of the other figures that we'll be going over. Of course, Beta Ray Bill. And then we've got Spider-Woman. And Spider-Woman actually has a variant. Wasp, who has two variants. The Thor Buster Iron Man, Moon Knight, and Captain Marvel. The Marvel Captain Marvel. All together, we'll have a completed Modok, so it's going to be fun to kind of see him come together. But in the meantime, there are his stats. As usual, just pause as needed. Born of an extraterrestrial race from a doomed planet, Bill Walters was scientifically transformed into the powerful protector of his homeworld survivors. Now, as Beta Ray Bill, he triumphs in a chance battle with Thor, proving himself worthy of the enhanced hammer Mjolnir. Instead of claiming Thor's birthright for himself, Odin bestowed the mystical hammer Stormbreaker upon him, giving him many of Thor's fabled powers. Now Beta Ray Bill fights with the power of a thunder god. That's kind of an interesting picture of him. But yeah, long story short, he's a space Thor. But that's just a quick look at the packaging. We'll take a moment. We'll get Beta Ray Bill out of the pack and have some fun. So be right back. Got Beta Ray Bill open. And one of the things about Thor is that over time you get kind of, yeah, okay, it's Thor. Fine, But with Beta Ray Bill, gosh, his character design is so cool. And the fact that it's been reproduced so well here, this is just an awesome, awesome figure. First off, I want to go ahead and just talk about, his general overall look. I love the sculpt on the figure. I love how with Beta Ray Bill, when they made him, they really did go with more of an armor kind of look. It's got more plate. It's got more decoration. It's definitely a more involved looking character. And it's all been translated so well into the figure, into the 3 dimensions. Of course, the boots and the shin guards and then the legs. even from the comic book, you can tell how well this has been translated. It's just fantastic. On the face, just exactly like the character. Almost kind of like a horse skull look with the jaw articulation. Have him yelling as he goes into battle. The head is on a kind of a ball hinge, a swivel hinge, as is the shoulders. Now, as with a lot of the Marvel Legend figures, he is rather stiff in the legs and in the shoulders. But he's got the bicep and the arm, single joint at the elbow, twist at the wrist. Well, there's a twist at the wrist and a hinge. His 3 fingers here are articulated. He's got a nice crunch, swivel. Legs come out again. Double joint at the knee, ankle, and toe. And didn't take too much to break him in, not to use that word too lightly, but still, a little stiff when you first came out of the pack. Now, I guess a couple of things that bother me a little bit is just that there isn't quite as much care on the paint in certain spots, especially around the wrist. Actually, I think that was the worst of it. Yeah, even on his back, the paint is really well done. The lines are very clean. A little bit on his elbow, there was that. But for the most part, not too bad. On the back of the cape, on the top, there is a little bit of glue that must have come out whenever it was being put in place. And also, in the way of the cape, I'm not sure why Marvel Legends all seem to want to have this, but he has the peg, the flight peg on his back. There's actually a hole in his cape for the peg to go through. Now, the cape, the way it's sculpted, it comes far enough out from the body that I don't necessarily think the cape needed to have a hole in it, but for some reason someone decided to put it in there. So that, I think, is kind of crummy. But other than that, everything else on him just looks just really, really sweet. He's got the kind of the electrical, kind of lightning almost sculpts on his chest across the front, very much like Thor. And like I said, the legs, the shoulder pads, everything kind of brings him into almost kind of a space Thor kind of theme. Let's see, now the cape does make him a little back heavy. So, thank goodness the cape is stiff enough. It's actually pretty rubbery. If you see, it's actually pretty rubbery. It's got a nice sculpt on it, but it is stiff enough that if he leans back, he'll actually lean on it and won't actually fall over. In the way of his accessories, of course, he comes with his Stormbreaker hammer, which is made of that same kind of gold plastic they used for Nova's helmet. I don't really have a problem with it exactly, except for the fact that, again, you can see in there where there's the swirls, and you can see where it just wasn't smooth. It's not kind of smooth plastic. It's not even painted. It's the actual hammer. You can see he comes with the Mighty Thor number 337, which is his first appearance. And it's a good read. It's not one I had before, so it's actually kind of cool to have, despite knowing the story. Let's see if we can get the hammer in his hand. Unlike Galactus and Apocalypse, for the Modok series, they don't give us the instructions on the back of the card. Instead, we get kind of this diorama background, which I guess is okay. But, if you look at it and you think, well, wait a minute, how am I putting this together? How am I going to put this guy together? Oh, come on now, get in there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, you may say, well, how are we going to put this guy together? Never fear. Instructions are included. The explosive gas release pedestal he comes with is here. It's actually 2 parts I've already snapped together. But I'd say I give him a 4.5 out of 5, 9 out of 10. I mean, he is a outstanding figure, and definitely I'd say if you're a Marvel fan, particularly if you're a Thor fan, it's one you're going to want to get. This is the Review Revolution saying rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.